In today's episode, I wanted to share with you 5 reasons why I believe training hard is so important to your life. It might sound a bit dramatic when I say life, but I really, really believe that consistently training hard has so many benefits that go far beyond helping you look good. The 5 I'm going to share are in no particular order, but hopefully by the end of this episode, they should just open up maybe a blind spot or new level of thinking, a new level of value, and maybe even a motivation to train even harder than what you currently do. Do I think it's absolutely essential to train balls to the wall every session? No, that's reckless, and it has bitten me and clients in the past in the arse, especially when you might be underslept and stressed and lots on and personal pressures, life pressures, all that stuff. But as a whole, I think there's so much value in training hard that a lot of people miss. And I think this will be particularly value if you are listening to this right now and you know there is another gear inside of you in the way you are currently executing your workouts. And I think this will be particularly value to you if you are someone who hasn't mastered consistency yet when it comes to week training, or someone who has weeks where you feel amazing in the gym, you feel fully motivated, you lift a lot more, you're pushing hard, but then that's followed by a week of mediocre training. You're coasting, you're bored, you might be on your phone. Basically, you're not exactly getting the most out of your time from your workouts, okay? And if you're anything like me and my clients right now, time becomes more precious than ever when you are growing a business or you're in a stronger position within your career. You've got a wife or husband to think about, you've got children to think about, people to manage, lots of people who want your attention for their own agenda, okay? So if you are someone who loves training or wants to love training even more, then I just want to give you my perspective on why I believe not only should you train, but you should train harder than what you're currently doing, or try to train harder than what you're currently doing. The first reason why I believe you should train harder, and this is something we install in all of our clients from the get-go. The moment they're through the door, we want to look at their technique. Then once we're happy with technique, we turn the tap up with the intensity, and we want to get them lifting more, training harder. Why? Number one is it 100% affects how much you can eat. If you train harder consistently, I guarantee you'll be able to eat more food week to week, every week. And why is this so important? Anyone I've ever had a conversation with or coached or been able to influence who is overweight, struggling with their health and doesn't look and feel the way they want to, 99% of the time it's down to struggling to control food volume. Basically, they eat more food than the energy they expend. And that is why, for me, if you know that food is going to be a consistent challenge in your life and you're trying to socialize and you're trying to box clever with your calories, that problem becomes a lot more insignificant when you are training hard alongside that. It's logic. You could have 2 people that have the same workout. You've got one person who is training hard, expending as much energy as possible, lifting as much as possible, removing distractions, not leaving a session thinking, I could have tried harder or pushed a little bit more. Then you've got another person with the same workout who is coasting, lazy, not pushing themselves with weight, over-resting, on their phone. They've got the same system, but a different outcome. I guarantee the person who doesn't train as hard will have a lower calorie threshold tolerance, whatever their goal is, especially if the goal is to stay lean. I've not met any client yet who doesn't want to stay lean and feel good and feel confident. So for me, the number one reason, or the first reason, that you should be training hard is you'll be able to eat more food. I've never come across anyone who doesn't want to eat more food. Number two, training hard builds mental resilience. Mental resilience for me is a fundamental quality needed in business. Mental resilience is also a fundamental quality that you need in delicate family situations. From experience speaking to clients who've got children, you need resilience when family dynamics can be challenged. Your children might have a challenge or a problem. They might be keeping you up late at night where you have minimal sleep. You need mental resilience then to then go into work and perform at your best the next day. But if we're not doing nothing physically to build that mental resilience, we are going to be relying on willpower. And there's not many people that can perform at the top of their game in business every week solely on willpower. At some point, it becomes exhausting and that petrol tank simply isn't full, especially when stress is high in business, there's more decision making, and you've maybe got a lot of people to manage. Whereas if you give yourself the gift, and it is a gift, by the way, of training hard, literally trying to better yourself, better your body, better your fitness, not just work your muscles harder, but also work your heart harder, the mental resilience that gives you is genuinely priceless. It will give you grit when a business deal doesn't go your way, maybe a negotiation doesn't go your way, or maybe you have a relationship challenge that perhaps make you feel momentarily fragile, or you just simply don't get an outcome you want. You have to face rejection. But if you're mentally resilient as a result of the work you're putting in, when no one else is around, it's just you picking up some weights or going for a run or pushing yourself on some cardio, whatever it is, you will not fold. We audit our clients all the time as a team. Which clients are performing at the top of their game, which clients are maybe struggling a little bit, which clients are progressing faster, which clients generally find it easy to stay in shape and keep progressing, keep performing well week to week, every week. It's the clients who've built more mental resilience. Mental resilience creates consistency. If someone doesn't have mental resilience, they will fold the moment they can't do something perfect. They will let one shitty day of eating turn into a week, turn into a month or longer. And I don't believe anyone really wants to do that, right? Everyone feels better when they feel mentally strong and in control. And you have to create that. And I think nothing's going to create that more than scheduling a session, pushing yourself, making yourself feel good over and over again. Eventually that mental resilience becomes who you are and how you describe yourself. It becomes ingrained in your identity. And the spillover in every area of life, having mental resilience, is priceless. The next one I've got in terms of benefit of training hard, and some people might disagree with this, by training hard, and of course with quality, your quality of movement will improve tenfold. You can't just hope to move better as we age. We've got to do something to respect our body, and if we're going to get more granular, we've got to do something on a consistent basis, ideally with resistance, as in weights, where you are lengthening and shortening muscle fibers across the whole body. Because as we get older, bones degenerate, we lose muscle mass, and that is dramatically going to impact not only our quality of movement, but deeper than that, our quality of life. The amount of older clients that we've worked with that have been sporadic or non-existent, perhaps with their training over the years, and then had awful mobility issues, joint issues, bad backs, bad knees, bad shoulders, neck, spine, all this stuff. I'm not saying we're never going to run into these problems. Look, as you get older, look, do I pick up injuries? Yes. Do clients pick up injuries from time to time? Yes. But if we know these niggles and wear and tear are coming anyway, at least if you are training hard and with quality, you're doing as many things as possible within your control to prevent rather than have to cure over and over again as we age. And I don't believe nothing optimizes your quality of movement more than strength training across all the different movement patterns. Most people with a bad back as they age, it's because they can't even get up off a chair properly without rounding their back, without putting their hands on their back, because they've got weak glutes, they've got weak backline, and their posture's all over the shop. And you can't stretch your way to a better posture. You need to create strength, especially in your glutes and your hips and your legs. So for me, training hard with quality will significantly improve your quality of movement. And of course, if we tie in movement to things like picking up your children, doing day-to-day activities, maybe within your business, all these things are going to be done a lot smoother if we train in hard and with quality. The next one we've got, I believe if you consistently train hard, you're going to stay more consistent. If you consistently train hard, you're naturally going to be more consistent in the gym. Why? When you train hard, you're going to see progress. And when you see progress, you are going to see value on that behavior and the time of doing that workout. A lot of people lose consistency with their training because they're not seeing progress. And you can have the best workout in the world, but if you're not implementing it with intent, you're not going to see progress, especially the longer you've been training. The margins for progress are a lot smaller the longer you've been training. So we can't take our foot off the pedal when it comes to training intensity, unless we're working around injuries and stuff like that. But if you're training with intent, you'll be more consistent because you're going to associate more value and more emotional enjoyment with that behavior and activity that you've scheduled in your calendar. Generally, we prioritize things in our diary that we can see value in, and we're getting a return on investment of that time, energy, and effort and potential investment. And I just don't think enough people train hard enough. The parallels with people who train hard, with people who are actually consistent, is night and day. In all the years we've coached, especially since we've started tracking data, sort of the last 5 years in Built to Last, the people who are generally happier are the people who train harder. The people who are unhealthier and generally reactive and up and down with their emotions and generally in a worse physical place are the people who don't train hard, which is why one of the things we do inside Built to Last, alongside all the one-to-one accountability, is the physical in-person meets. We do mini meets as well as the big meets. Basically, any chance we can connect with clients when we're in the same logistical area, I and my team will do that because we want to continually encourage and stretch someone's physical capabilities with their training so they know they've got a new standard, a new threshold that they can then carry on by themselves week to week, when they're not in the gym with us, basically. It really does break a new boundary and a new threshold and a new lease of life in that area. And I guarantee you've done this in business. You would have had a period in your business career where you had to do something you didn't think was possible. You had to work harder. And then when you did, and you go to that next level, maybe that new level of income or new level of status or position, you naturally want more of it and you want to keep doing it. And it's the same in health and fitness, with your own health and fitness. Lastly, it's all about confidence, internally as well as externally. It's not just about how you look. And I've said this many times before on previous episodes, and it's part of my why. You know, it's to help someone live with confidence they never thought possible, internally as well as externally. But you have to create that confidence. And by consistently training hard, your physique will change. The only way your physique would not change if you're consistently training hard would be down to your food and potentially a lack of movement around that, i.e. steps, and sleep if you were drastically undersleeping. But generally speaking, if you are consistently training hard, your body will change. But where the internal confidence comes is the simple fact of doing it every week, month to month, year to year. Confidence comes from doing what you said you would do, keeping your promises to yourself. And I think training hard is one of the most simple things you can do to build confidence that has so many benefits to how you feel. You become a doer internally, and of course your physique's going to change externally. So if you want to live with more confidence, physically, mentally, emotionally, train hard consistently, and I guarantee that will happen. Of course, there are many more I could have unpacked today, but for me, I just wanted to share 5 that came to my mind when I was making notes for today's episode. If you're not where you want to be, if you're not looking how you want to, you're not feeling how you want to, and it's affecting your performance in business, it's affecting your mood in your relationships, and it's affecting your energy for your children, start pushing yourself harder in the gym and notice how much better you feel and how much more consistently you become as a person. As always, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.